Welcome to another episode of the Exponential Creativity Podcast. I know I've not done this in a long time, um, but I'm going to stick to it on a different schedule, and I'm going to talk about that today. So the very first thing I wanted to address was why do I do this? And I think I keep going back and forth on things just because I don't have the why really clear. So that's what I'm going to start off with. And I probably might leave this on for every podcast just so I remember this. But I do this podcast to keep track of my progress, to track ideas and concepts. My memory is not that good. It really isn't. Um, so, one more thing I've noticed is anytime I say something and I hear it back, I can hear, I can kind of feel the same feelings and emotions and the experience again through my own voice. So that's why I think I like doing this as well. And yeah, it's just to have one place to keep a track of all my ideas. And when I die, these video series that I'm doing can help navigate my life, you know, um, but on a more personal level. Some progress to be reported. So I was thinking that I could, keep these kind of short and to the point. I would do all of these things beforehand, uh, like all the different verticals that I kind of look at my life as, and then report the progress, report the failure, and then report future plans. Right. So health. Um, I have been looking at my health in four different ways. One is physical health, second is emotional, the third is mental, and the fourth is the energy states. And I've found out ways to, like, have these things in control. You know, so for example, physical health it's essentially a product of going to the gym and also going and eating. All right. So I've been doing that, and I've been doing that since I think July. So July, August, September. I've been September, October. So I've been doing this for, and now it's November. So it's month five into this, and I mean it's certainly not what I hoped. Where I would be. Um, but that's another thing. Like for a long-term goal, I have like these huge targets. But for short-term goals, um, it's just it doesn't quite track well. But that being said, I've been consistent mostly. I try to go to the gym 3 times a week. This week it was just twice, but yeah, and the rest in between the days that really helps. Emotional health. I have been looking into this since last year of May, I think, and I've just been writing down everything that I think and feel and whatever, and really analyzing where that emotion is coming from, and hopefully to backtrack and kind of see the root of things. And at first, it used to take me like a couple of days to figure something out, and now it's gotten down to like I've pretty much narrowed it down to things. Uh, Maybe like it takes me a couple of minutes now. Um, Mental health. I have been reading a lot. I realize that I'm usually depressed when I'm thirsty for knowledge and I can't find any. So anytime now when I feel that I'm feeling a little sad or just anxious or not really in my element, I just turn to reading. It's almost like whenever I have a certain urge, it's just that is the direction I know I need to go in. And the last is the energy state. Now, this is something that I'm really struggling with because I don't know how to really control that. But I've found that there's like two or three ways about it. One is like through action. Whenever things don't seem right or something, just act. Uh, you know, in a positive direction that I know is not going to be harmful. So maybe like practicing something, or maybe like some guitar thing, or learning some new chords, from going into a new environment, like going for a walk. Those things have helped. So, you know, like when I was writing this down yesterday, I really had like a very upbeat feel to how I was being, and right now I'm just so dead. Yes, I don't know why. Um, I think I know why, but we'll get to that. Um, yeah, I've been making a lot of progress socially. I've made some new friends. This new quarter brought new people to the school, and I've been meeting all of them. I also met this group called the Hollywood Prayer Network, and it's a group of amazing people. Um, and they're not like religious like how people are religious. I mean, there's some people like that, but there's just it's just an environment of love and care and positivity, and also really people who wish to do good things. It's a great way to meet new people, and if you are looking for something, people in the network, they might know a couple of people who could help you with that. So I've been very, very fortunate to meet that group, and I really like hanging out with all of them. I try to go for all their events if possible. Um, yeah, in fact, yesterday I went for an event, and I actually got a bunch of bookmarks for myself, and I thought that they were really nice, so I thought I'd give some of them to other people. And yeah, it was really fun. Yesterday was really fun to meet so many people and have these interesting conversations. Yeah. Anyways, I was also thinking about charity, and I was trying to understand the psychology of charity. So I have not really done much for charity in my life, um, although I've been given a lot of things in my life. But I think now I've reached that point where uh, I don't know if I've reached that point, but I would rely on external evidence for that. But the psychology of charity. So I was wondering, why is it that people do charity, and why how does it actually work? Um, like not by how it helps somebody else, because obviously that's a good thing, but how it makes you feel. And I can tell you that the first time I ever did some sort of a charitable thing, um, I felt really nice, but then I was also trying to figure out why did I feel nice, and I realized that it gives you a sense of confidence. Charity is a gateway to confidence. And the confidence is pretty simple. It's essentially what it means is no matter how bad things get, no matter how bad my life is, no matter, I mean, if I lose my limbs or something or any of that, I I am useful at some level that I can help somebody else, you know. And when you know that sort of a thing, you feel that it's almost like you're eliminating your own helplessness by showing that if you can be helpful to somebody else, uh, you do have some value. And I think that is a psychology of charity. That is how it helps somebody get confident, get self confidence, and just a very small bit. Uh, and that is like confidence is like, I know I can do it. I can't be taken away. So yeah, I've been again, like my mom used to tell me that you should never talk about when you do charity, you should just do it, and I agree with her. But I also think that it's important to talk about from a personal level, because nobody was there to kind of guide me about how this worked for them. And so I'm just trying to be honest and say how my experience with that has been. When I'm really really happy, I buy some food and I go and give it around Hollywood Boulevard. And of course, like it's a chasm which is a huge thing to kind of overcome. But you really, when you sit down and just talk to these people and you have share some of food with them, uh, you start looking at them and you think that, like, where did life go wrong for them, you know, and what happened in their life that they ended up here. Um, of course, like, could be choices about drugs and stuff, but I also think that it's probably because nobody was there to bring it into their awareness of the consequences of such actions. You know, I don't know. I'm this kind of a person who thinks that if something wrong happened, it's my fault, and if something good happened, it's probably other people are doing it. Uh, and that's, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's a good way psychologically to move forward, because that way you can. Sorry about that. That way you can always have something to, I don't know, to have that against. I guess I don't know. Another good thing that I did, that I was proud of myself for, was I have a friend who is losing his eyesight on some level, and basically he's losing like the collagen in his cornea or something like that, and he's gonna have a surgery to hopefully get it fixed. And he was really concerned. And then I just told him, like, it's moments like these when we get humbled. Uh, and I had this other friend on the line, and he was telling things like, "Oh, it's all gonna be okay," and everything. But I absolutely didn't say anything like that. Told him how I really saw things, and I told him, "Oh my God, like, he's a very nice piano player." Like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have my very own Stevie Wonder." And yeah, and I was just trying to show him that he still has a sense of his irony and a sense of humor, and that his worth is not dependent on his senses. And I told him to do something charitable and see how he feels. And in that moment, I felt that I grew somehow, um, and it was sort of an evidence to myself that I hopefully am becoming wiser. It could just be a sham. uh, all right, another the next one. This one hits it's close to the chest. Lessons in love. Um, so I I'm somebody who is very very um, I'm a very kind person. I think I don't like to hurt people, and I've tried to treat people the way I like to be treated myself. Um, but anyways, like in the past, some bad things happened, and I'm obviously talking to myself, so he knows what I'm talking about. But I'm really glad that they happened, because they gave me uh, a date with truth, and then I either had to see it for what it is, or kind of just be thinking, no, it's not me, it's the other person. Um, so, anyways, like, the past year has been a year of learning, and it just set me on this path of just continuously reading and growing in so many ways. I'm very glad that happened. But more importantly, I did recently fall in love with somebody, and I told them how I feel, and yeah, and she didn't feel the same way. But I understood that, and I was still happy for her because I really hope she finds somebody awesome, because she is really awesome. But that being said, a couple of days later, I had a dream. Now, I've been tracking all my dreams for a very long time now, and some of them are very, very interesting. So, this dream was very interesting to me because in that dream, I saw my ex girlfriend with somebody else, and they were really happy, and I just felt so happy. You know, I mean, first for her, that she found somebody and she's not in pain anymore, and second for me because I moved on. So it was just, I mean, people can say I've moved on, or any of that, but this was a sort of external evidence or a subconscious evidence of sorts. Of course, my interpretation of the dream itself would explain how I'm thinking about things. But that was my first instinct when I first saw that dream. I didn't have a negative reaction to it. And again, because this was in the lucid dreaming state, I was just very, very happy that, yeah. So if she's listening, I wish you all the best, and I wish you love from the depths of my heart. And I really think you're an amazing person. There was a reason why we got attracted in the first place, and I really hope that you have a beautiful life ahead. You know. Anyways, so yeah, that's something I learned. Like I learned that I'm capable of love. That I'm not gonna be not gonna be alone. And even if I am, I'd be like pretty cool at it. But there's just this patience that's set in. And I wonder if it's just age. But as I talk to more and more people, they say, "Oh no, it's other people I've seen. They are very immature." And I guess that's okay. But I'd like to meet people who are more mature than me. I don't even know how to gauge that. But if I was around them, I'd probably realize that there's still a lot for me to know. And they'll like kind of humble me and instill more patience. But anyways, that was some progress that happened in the social realm. Financial. Okay. So I have a job. It's a part-time job, and the thing is, I get done with the work really fast. So I can't really put in a lot of time, and have to wait for them to give me more work so that I can do more work. So I need to find a full-time songwriting job. Uh, you know, but my part-time job is what it is. I've been looking for shows, and I have two shows that are happening. Um, and I don't think they're gonna generate a lot of revenue for me, but I'm gonna try to sell my merchandise. And at the end of the day, it's like two shows on the thing that I can show to other people that I have played comedy shows. I have played at Comedy Chateau, at Fourth Wall Comedy, so far, so on and so forth. So it's just putting the votes down and building up the press kit. You know, I yeah. So if I look back at the previous month, I would say that things didn't go exactly how I planned, but I started my investing. And I invested a lot of money. I mean, pretty much all the money that I have is investing, and I got a 6% growth in just a month. It's probably because the market is working a certain way, so it'll even out over time. But I'm just really happy that I started this now rather than later, because they talk about the effects of compounding. And anyway, so that's kind of what I was looking into. Um, so yeah, investing. I've put in money into that, and I got a lot of information and knowledge about just getting financially independent, which was opening a Roth IRA account, or what is a 401k, how to invest in real estate. And my brother was very kind to me. He gave me his course, which he's taking with Meet Kevin, and I've been studying the psychology of money and all of that. It's been really good. Like, there's a lot of things that I never thought about. But it's just kind of like showing how somebody who's like he really breaks it down in his course. He breaks it down all the way from if you were nobody, if you have nothing, you're having debt and all of that. He literally starts from that level, and then he takes you all the way to what a millionaire would be like, you know. So he also kind of breaks it down into like butter and grit, kind of like what are some things you absolutely need and what are things you don't need, and how you shouldn't spend any money on things that you don't need while you're still not financially independent. So yeah, it's just uh, and I definitely agree with a lot of things he says, um, and I mean I pretty much agree with all of it. I guess the only place where I kind of divert from what he tells me is when I want to do something nice for other people, then I think that it's okay, because um, I would say it's still investing, but it's just investing into relationships. So, look at that. What else? Ooh, the next one, spiritual. Now, this is this is like, honestly, I never thought that I would ever be talking about this stuff in my life. Absolutely hilarious. Uh, but I have recently started looking into the spiritual realm of experiences and connection, um, and it's just it's a whole other video, honestly, to talk about. Um, but yeah, this is what I'd say in short. I feel connected to the universe. I feel that I feel that I've always been living, and that I'll always keep living, and this is just a transitory state. Um, I've also been conducting these thought experiments where I look at somebody and I imagine them as a child. I imagine them as who they are right now, and then I imagine what they are going to turn out to be. And it's a very interesting thought experiment. Um, and when I also think, like, if I was them, how would I be living my life? You know, and I think that I wish I wish there was a device, something of this sort, where I could live through each person's life, uh, in like a game or something, and then like 8 billion people, like 7.8 billion people, go through each person's thing, and obviously these are just alive people. There's people who are dying, and then people who will be born. So the set will increase. But I could live through each person's life, their whole life, and then I would look back at my life right now, this very moment, and ask myself, will I still choose to live my life the same way? You know, how would things be different? You know, so it's almost like you're trying to see why other people behave the way they do, and why I should behave like them and why I shouldn't behave like them. And it's just a sort of learning mechanism. It's almost like when people say learn from mistakes, and they say learn from other people's mistakes as well. Well, in this case, you could really live their whole life and see how some mistakes were a boon and some mistakes really were a mistake. And you could live a more um, truer life, I'd say, or a better iteration of your life. Um, that'd be interesting, I think. Also, When I think about my death and when I express my gratitude, I just feel this happiness blanket around me. And this happens every time I meet even with those guys at HPN. Is just so I feel really loved over there, and also like in general, like by myself. Uh, yeah, that's it's almost like you're rising above your element. Like I remember when earlier I used to feel hungry, I really had to eat. Then earlier I used to feel cold, I really needed some warmth. But now I am like, it's okay, I can hold out for a bit. Um, it's just some sort of an elevated form of control over my physical existence. Don't It's still important, it's still necessary, but just being able to prolong these urges, and I don't know, just I guess I'm getting stronger through evidence. I don't know. Also, when you help people who are helpless, they bless you. You know, and I again, I don't believe that there is God. I do think there is a source code of sorts. And of course, when I say I don't believe there is God, I'm not saying I don't believe in God or believe in God. I just, if the evidence presents itself, then I will accept it. Um, but the cool thing about people who talk in religious terminologies, if you could see past what they are saying as words, is the energy that they're giving out. Whenever you see somebody and you see how they're interacting, how they're saying. So somebody tells you, God bless you, and things like that. They truly, from the depths of their heart, like, I don't think there's a God, but the they feel connected to the psychological thing, and they're wishing something really nice to somebody else. And that essence of what it is something that psychologically helps, I think. And that's what I've been able to see, like, whenever you help somebody, and you know it just feels so great. you know so anyways, that's something. uh Creativity progress. I have written a new song, and I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a fun little song and it's very entertaining. And I have this other song that I have written the lyrics for a long time back, but now I'm like putting the music to it, and hopefully I'll figure it out today. What else? I've been learning Hindi songs for shows. This is just so that I can play Hindi cover shows or something like that. I'm really struggling financially. From what I hear is, if you could, make a sort of a Hindi set or something, um, there's a lot of places you can play. Because at the end of the day, I am an artist, but being an artist is one thing, and then being an entertainer is another. And being an artist may or may not pay the bills currently, but being an entertainer, it's it's something that's a requirement in the market. So I don't have a problem. I can entertain. So I'm learning Hindi songs, and probably by the end of this month, I hope I have a 45-minute set ready that me and my roommate is like super into the whole Indian culture over here. And we can go and play shows. And yeah, I made three new animations for a teacher. It was just like a chicken with its head cut off, and then the clock, and then just a, a guy crying. And I was happy. Like, I got some money for it, and he used it in his video. I was really proud that he did that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I still I don't like my animations, and I'm just starting to realize like how hard it is, and it's so much work. Um, and I want to learn. I really want to. And just time is just something. They say success is sequential, not simultaneous, and I'm really abiding by that. So I'm gonna get to the point where I can apply for an O1 visa. Hopefully, I get it, and then after that, I will look into getting into this animation stuff. Uh, you know, I'll still do it from time to time, but it has to be. It's not a priority. All right, and then next one is experiences. Okay. Oh, this is fun. I actually really enjoyed. I think the past weekend because my co-brother came from Texas, and then me, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my co-brother, we all were like hanging out, eating food together and just meeting after such a long time. Uh, I also saw how much I've changed. It's, when you meet people you know for a long time, and when you see how they react to you uh, as this new person, you start to realize like how much you've changed, and it's that's a good thing because like I'm just trying to figure out where this tree is going. But yeah, we went to Universal Studios, and that was really cool. We went on a lot of rides. What was very interesting to me is that the experience is never going to be the same because I'd gone there in 2013, and when I'd gone there then, I was just so excited to go on the rides. I was like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? And this time, the entire time that I was there was the ride. uh, you know, what people think is like the ride is just the part you enter the ride and then you leave the ride. And I mean, that's how I thought. I'm not saying people, that's how I thought. But this time, for me, it was literally from the morning I woke up and then I'm waiting for them to arrive, get in the car, and I give a big hug to my co-brother. Oh my God, it was the best hug. And I've grown taller and he's grown slimmer. And then we went to Universal Studios. We were standing in line, and I was just observing everything. And I was going through such heavy emotions because I was looking at things and I was thinking that somebody thought of this, somebody made this of this place of wonder. There's this Harry Potter ride, and it was so beautiful to see. Like I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this. If this was of a dream in somebody's mind, and then they wrote a book about it, like 7 or 8 books about it, and then they made a movie on it, and the whole movie was so successful that now it's like there's rides about it and there's merchandise, and people literally feel like they are a part of that dream, and that is what life is. This is somebody's dream. Each of these things, this was somebody's dream, somebody's dream right here. So it's amazing. So when I was on the rides, I wasn't really enjoying the rides in the way that you're supposed to. I was just kind of looking around. It was very interesting because it's almost like other people are screaming and shouting, and I'm just like quiet and I'm just like watching stuff. But yeah, the the experience was just amazing. And I was looking at so many people, and I was thinking that each of these people has lived a life like mine. I mean, like they were kids at some point, they must have gone through so many experiences. Each person went to a school, and now they've come here, and this road, like so many people walk here every day, and this place has brought joy to so many people. And it was just a beautiful experience. Uh, Not the experience that people go to Universal Studios for, but the experience I took away. I also had the best food I have eaten in a very long time at this place called Flavor of Thai, and I really enjoyed the food so much. I asked if I could meet the chef, and I thanked him. I told him it was so good, and apparently it brought him to tears. You know, and yeah, I just think that he must have been making this amazing food for such a long time, and he just needed to hear the appreciation. And yeah, and I'm so sure like now he's going through his life, and there's this sense of courage and confidence in his abilities. He really is a great cook. You know, amazing food. That food was so good. Anyways, then with my family, I also went and we saw an American football college football game, and it was absolutely amazing. Saw the band, like there's like a whole band who was like playing music the entire time, and there's like cheerleaders who are like dancing and doing like this sign. It's for the USC team, University of Southern California, and this means fight on. So just keep doing fight on, something like that. I don't know. And yeah, I saw the American football game. It's really fun. You just like, throw the ball, catch it, run. It's just very interesting how just people doing something really dumb and stupid, but it's so fun. Like the value is not in the game itself, but the idea that's being consecrated. And then again, I was having an experience over there where I was just thinking that how these people have always been there. I mean, the faces change, but the idea is always going to be there. There's always going to be a football player, who's arrogant. There's always going to be a football game. There's always going to be an audience, and there's always going to be people who sing and dance and do things to entertain and get a small gist of, ooh, look, I'm so awesome. But and then it's almost like when you look at it that way, you also look at yourself that way. And there's always going to be somebody like me. Um, of course, there would be a unique contribution, I'm assuming, which is inherited from their genetic code. Um, but there really is nothing special about me. Uh, I, but I do think that there is something unique that every individual has to offer, and that is what is a special thing. So it's special and not special, if that makes sense. Um, and yeah, another cool thing was I played my first ever show after graduation. I played the show for Child Fund. It's a charitable organization, and yeah, we raised money for a lot of kids who sponsored uh, for a month of school supplies and things like that. And yeah, it was really fun. I played bass and I met some beautiful musicians. Uh, you know, wonderful musicians, honestly. And I think I should like really stay in touch. But it's just the whole social thing is like too much to do, because there's so much to explore by myself. Um, but that's something I need to get better at, definitely. Anyways, uh, and yeah, let's get to achievements. Got my 45-minute original set ready to play. Yeah, it's like 13 songs, like 12, 13 songs, and I can inflate it with more originals and covers for about another 40 minutes. So I could potentially pull off like a 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30 minute show with mixed with originals and covers, and I can deflate it and just do shorter sets if that's what the requirement is. So currently, I am struggling with the comedy set Because the thing is, I have a relatively, like, if I had to come say, let's say out of five, my current set is like at a comedy level of three. That is a 45-minute set. But if I really want it to be just a comedy show, then it has to be a five all the way through uh, the entire thing. And if I was really counting the fives, I would say that my set is actually just about 10 minutes long. So I need to keep making stuff so that eventually I gather enough fives, which makes up a 45-minute or a 1 hour. And then hopefully that could be on Netflix someday. So yeah, that's something that I have been thinking about. Um, and yeah, all right. Now reporting failure. Uh, so I see this thing makes me feel really happy, and it's also not the things I had planned. And this stuff is what I had planned, and I didn't make any progress in it. So, but I think it's just managing expectations because I want something from my life, and my competence level is not that much. So then the difference is what is, annoying. I just need to set like achievable targets and then move there rather than this is where I need to go and then I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna get there? So making animated music videos, I think I made like three animations, so it's worth something. But I really have to do something that's better than what I've done so far. You know, and I keep thinking if like I do have a personality that I can put on to entertain. So I keep thinking if I could have performing, like I could be performing in the songs and the videos, but also draw the animations and kind of put it against a clear background and then import the animations on top of my video performance. So that would make it like kind of a cool thing to show that I can animate, that I can perform as well. And it doesn't have to be either or. Um, yeah, I don't know. So make like small GIFs, whatever that's called. Uh, Not making any progress on YouTube. I think I'm like stuck at 156 subscribers. But that's purely because yeah, I haven't put out anything. I'm not promoting anything. It's just, yeah. But this is how I'm thinking about it. I want to find like a record label or some sort of a publisher or somebody who can help me with this. And if I could, show them my songs, and if they think that I have something good going on, then we could probably start producing these videos and stuff. I don't know. It's just it seems like a way bigger problem, and I have to find a way to cut it down into smaller chunks that are things that I can digest and do. Because right now it feels too heavy, feels too much to do. And yeah, my I have to pay my rent, but the thing is that we're waiting for the COVID relief fund to kind of come through. So if it comes through, I don't have to pay, and if it doesn't, then I have to pay. So it's just right now I'm just sitting with the money and hoping that I don't have to pay. But even in case I have to, I will. All right, report plans. Oh yeah, so I was breaking this down into like three parts, like report progress, report failure, and then report my future plans. So health wise, I'll keep going to the gym. I'll journal every day. I'll read every day. Talking about journaling, I do it for myself, but I'm only gonna do the Exponential Creativity podcast every Sunday going forward, Sunday morning, and I'll try to keep it under an hour. That way, it's a great collection for me over a week. and probably going forwards, I wouldn't have so many things I have to say. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a shorter video, and honestly, I'm down for that. Uh, so journal every day, read every day. I've been reading this new book I got by Rick Kurzweil. It's called How to Be a Daniel, and it's I really like it without the external cover thing. And I got a bunch of bookmarks actually. Let me show it to you. So so I got like these bookmarks which kind of look like that, and they have a ruler on the other side. But what's the coolest part about the bookmark is they come with like, I hope this gets clear or is it? Yeah, see? So that's like a little, I don't think it's gonna get clear, but it's like a little astronaut guy. And I thought that this was such a cool thing because it's like, you can have, it's almost like a jewelry piece of sorts. I really think so. So I've been giving it out to some people, but yeah, I've been reading and been learning, uh, and it's I really enjoy it. I think the beauty of reading something that's published into a book is because it has to go through so many layers of vetting that solicit. I do get the point of having solicited material, you know, um, and if something is like said like has testimonials for a lot of from a lot of people because it has to be two things. It has to be first a great artist. That means great ideas and thoughts. But the second thing has to be good craftsmanship. Now I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not the best craftsman, and I want to become a better craftsman. But I feel relatively confident in saying that I think I'm a good artist. I think at least I try to think of new things. I cannot guarantee if they always come true or if that leads to a result that is helpful. But sometimes you don't see the value of something in the moment and you reach a higher point and it makes sense then. So it's just kind of, it'll make sense someday. But the important part is where you're casting the vote. And I am definitely casting votes to be an artist. Craftsman, not so much. I need to work on that. But oh yes, and I was talking about the energy states. So when it comes to energy states, I've told you I go for walks. I change the environment that I'm in. But more importantly, I've been focusing on my breathing. Uh, and I don't need to focus on this otherwise, but this is only when I feel a little disturbed. When I feel disturbed, I just like take a deep breath and I hold on to it as long as possible. Release. Do it like 4 times, and it generally makes me feel slightly better. Because it's almost like the branches of the tree are shaking, and I'm like, okay, what's happening here? And of course, stopping each branch is going to be very, very difficult from shaking. But if I focus on my breathing, that's like focusing on the roots, um, absorbing the nutrients and just kind of holding their place. Uh, and once you do that, no matter how hard the winds are blowing, the branches will eventually settle down. So I would say that would be the analogy I would use for the focus on breathing. That's how it works. So it's kind of like you're not addressing the symptom, you're not addressing the end result, but you're addressing the root cause. And of course, I know that is not exactly the root cause still. That's why I told like I'm still figuring it out. If I know the answer, I'll let you know. I have been doing and will be doing charity every Sunday. It's nothing big. but just go to this Domino's and buy like three pizzas, and on the way back give like one or two, and then go at home and eat the rest. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, I really like to give. Like I remember when I was in school, there was this one teacher. She told like how to deal with rejections and when you go to auditions. And what she told was like whenever something didn't like click and she tried really hard, she would go home and she would go and not like find a dog, find any animals and give them food. And I think this is somewhat similar. And this is in fact what happened with me. Even the girl I fell in love with, she didn't feel the same way. But and I was like really proud of myself because I thought of the entire scenario. I knew she was not gonna uh, she she was gonna say what she was gonna say, but I still decided to go because uh, I was hoping, I think, and also if she had the time to listen, then I could explain things to her. But I already was thinking like, oh, how do I mitigate the risks of or like how I'm gonna feel emotionally? And yeah, and I went and I gave food to people, and I just felt that I have love to give. Some people don't want to accept that love, and I understand that. But the people who do want to accept it, I was able to give it to them, and yeah, it made me feel really nice. So this is almost like uh, this is an evidence that I'm capable of love. You know that, and rather than me talking, oh, I'm fucking loving or whatever, I mean, I'll let the evidence stack up, and I will think that I'm probably a good person if I keep doing this. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to do this every Sunday, and in fact, I'm gonna go do it after this podcast. Financial, yes, I need to make money. It's high time. It's a high priority, and that's why I'm reaching out to venues. I'm reaching out to friends, other comedians, venues, other people making press kits, and trying to get shows. I need to find paid shows. I really do. Um, and yeah, and I'm working towards it. So anytime I feel a little flustered, I'm like, okay, what is in my control? I can learn a new Hindi song. Do it. you know, what is in my control? Okay, I could practice another cover song. Do it. Um, what is in my control? I could reach out to another artist, somebody else, and just ask them if I can do an opening set for them. And even if nothing happens in that moment, if that's a connection that I've made. And hopefully, if they really like what I do, then I'm hoping they would like to hire me for something good. I don't know. If it entertain people, I hope that somebody might want to hire me. You know. But yeah, financially, I'm gonna keep investing, uh, and also I'll keep watching the course. I've gone through like 55% of it, so and right now I'm in the heavy part of the stocks course. It's really a very nice course. It's expensive, but like and he keeps raising the price. Like I really like it. Like how he goes about it is like the course was $300. All right, the course is now gonna be $400, but you guys can get it for a discount code and apply the discount code. You get it for lesser, and then now the discount code is gone. So now this is the new price, and then now this is the new price. I just keep increasing the prices of his courses, but people take it. It's a very helpful. Uh, and I mean, he's not the only person. There's many more people. You just have to listen to a lot of people and see what they have to say. It doesn't have to be this one person. It can be anybody. Whoever makes sense to you, you should follow that person. Uh, and and when you listen to two, three people, you might have to gauge who do you think is your values and thoughts align more with. And eventually, hopefully, when you listen to like 10, 15, 100 people, you'll have some of your, you're just operating off of a bigger set. So you can make better decisions. And it's not just limited to the one or two or three people you've been watching videos of or learning from. Uh, what else? Yeah, in December, I'm gonna start looking for jobs with publishers as a songwriter, and I'm also gonna try to find an agent. I'm also gonna try to approach record labels, and see, I know that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Um, when it comes to approaching a label, but I don't think like it's gonna be a really long time without their help. And if I was in India and if I had all the time to myself and I didn't have to worry about getting somewhere in a particular amount of time, it would be okay. But I'm in America and I have a limited amount of time. I've already gone through 1 month of my OPT. So, I mean, good things have happened. I told you, good things have happened. Um, but I'm running out of time. So, it's high time I look into this. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, uh, but it's good. Just making me into a better human. Uh, challenges. I I hope they keep coming. Eh, don't stop the challenges. It's gonna be fun. Let's see if I can deal with it. It's gonna be cool. And yeah, creativity. I really have this thing inside me where when I don't create something, I feel really uneasy. It's almost like my own level of confidence. So what I've done is I've given myself 4 hours every day to just be creative. And a part of being creative is just being bored, just not doing anything, just hanging out and just writing down your thoughts or, drawing something, thinking about things, daydreaming. Uh, and yeah, it makes sense because I am a creative individual and I hope I am a creative individual. And if I'm not, I just need to cast votes with time in the right direction. And hopefully they fall into place. So yeah, like, cause that's what I did last week, and I got like 2 songs out of it. I have written a couple more ideas, but I need to like really polish things. But I lack in craftsmanship. I can say that for sure. Um, I wish I was a better guitarist. That I could think of cooler harmonies and of course, like I just it's not a matter of I can't do it. It's just I have to listen to more songs. I have to learn more songs. It's just a matter of time. So when I think about the 4 hours, it's not purely creating. It's also learning. But yeah, that's been about everything I've been talking about since the last time I did this. I'm going to maintain this format. I think it's gonna be helpful for me, and probably the next one is gonna be shorter. So, anyways, we are just shy of an hour. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this podcast, and I, I hope you have a beautiful day. I wish you wisdom. I wish you uh, success, and I wish you more challenges for you to overcome and become more smarter, more uh, capable, Um, I wish you, and I wonder if I'm just wishing myself all of this. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.